this is Nightbird Tarot. I'm here to do your love messages for May 2025. I hope that you're doing well. If you're new here, feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you want. That way you get future notifications when I do future videos. Welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and sharing, as it's really helping the channel. So what I'm going to do for you, Leo, is I'm going to pull some cards from the Wild Reflections Tarot deck to get a general love message for you for the month of May 2025. And then I'll finish your reading off with a love message oracle card. This may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what resonates and leave the rest. Messages for the sign of Leo, please, Spirit, Angels, Guides, Ancestors, for love for May 2025, please. Messages for Leo, please, Spirit. Messages for Leo for love, please, Spirit. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse position. Okay, you guys wanted to fall out. I want to take them in the reverse because that's the way I grabbed them. So, okay. So we have the Six of Swords, the Judgment card, and the Two of Swords in the reverse position. Okay, back of the deck, we have the Fool card in the reverse position. Okay, so let's dive on in here. We'll do some clarification here in a moment. But we have the Six of Swords. That was the first card out of the deck for you in the reverse position. So I feel like with the Six of Swords in the reverse position, you're having a hard time moving on from something, perhaps somebody that you've been with recently, having a hard time moving on from a previous lover, perhaps. So having a hard time moving on, you can't let go, you're haunted by the memories of this person, etc. The Judgment card is also here in the reverse position. I feel like that's how it came out for me, so that's what I went with. So with the Judgment card in the reverse position, I feel like because you're having a hard time moving on, I feel like you're in a place where there is blame, perhaps blaming the other person for what transpired in the relationship. I feel like you're fixated on that relationship and you're pointing the finger at the other person. You could be talking to people about this and having a hard time moving on, but pointing the finger or placing blame on that other individual. You could be in denial about what actually happened, in other words. There's a Two of Swords as well in the reverse position. And I feel like with the Two of Swords, there's nobody that's really right for you at this time. At least you're feeling that way. You're having a hard time prioritizing love versus family versus work, etc. You feel like nobody is right for you, in other words. What you don't see is the Fool in the shadow in the reverse position. And what you don't see is that this was a very risky relationship. Or you could be getting into a risky relationship. Somebody that has a lack of commitment. Or this could be this person that you were dealing with here. But let's do a little bit of clarification for you, Leo. Please clarify the Six of Swords, please, Spirit. Please clarify the Six of Swords for the sign of Leo, please. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright position. Please clarify the Judgment. We have the Seven of Cups in the upright position. Please clarify the Two of Swords. Okay. And the Sun card in the upright position, Major Arcana. The happiest card in the deck. In the shadow, we have the Three of Swords. Okay. So, we have the Wheel of Fortune that is clarifying the Six of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor here. So I feel like you're having to make an adjustment from being with somebody that you are quite not over, somebody that you continue to talk about, and you're making an adjustment in your life at this time, which has been very difficult for you because you're having a hard time moving on. So this has been a difficult time for you in navigating the change, or making adjustments with this this newness. Somebody that you're not quite over. We have the Seven of Cups as well. That is clarifying the Judgment card. I feel like you're being very cautious about making decisions when it comes to new relationships. And I feel like that's what you're blaming somebody else for what happened in the past. You're having a hard time adjusting to the situation of being on your own. But because you're pointing the finger at somebody that you were with and blaming them for what went wrong, you're very cautious about moving forward with anyone new at this time. We do have the Sun card, Major Arcana, the happiest card in the deck, which is clarifying the Two of Swords. I feel like I feel like, I mean, this is love, contentment, whatnot, but you could be I feel like nobody is, as I said, with the Two of Swords, you don't think anybody is right for you. So perhaps being alone is your best love. I feel like the self-love and being alone right now is what's best for you. That's what brings you happiness right now. I think you've gone through something pretty traumatic here, Leo, in a love relationship where you're having a hard time letting go. You're having a hard time adjusting to the new. You've been placing blame on who did this and talking to others, and I feel like you're not interested in anyone at this time. I think what Spirit is saying to me is that there has to be reflection here, and you can't love someone new until you love yourself. There will be no new beginnings until you find that love within yourself here, Leo. We have the Three of Swords in the shadow as well in the reverse position. And I feel like you need to forgive yourself, forgive them after the pain that they caused you in order to move on so that you can find peace and happiness on your own. There must be forgiveness here with the Three of Swords in the shadow. You've been placing a lot of blame on this other person without taking responsibility for your actions in this. And you're having a hard time moving on from this relationship and navigating the new. But I feel like the only way that you're going to be able to move forward and find your happiness is to forgive and find self-love here, Leo. Yeah. Spirit, what more can you tell me about this reading? One last card, please. What more can you tell me for Leo and love? Pretty much summed it up is what Spirit is saying to me. You need to find self-love and forgiveness. So we have the Five of Wands here, yeah. in the reverse position. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you could have a hard time moving on at this time with the Eight of Cups in the reverse position in the shadow. With the Five of Wands in the reverse position, just to kind of finish up your reading here, you need to avoid conflict and trying to keep the peace and find resolution here by forgiving and loving yourself here. Yeah. Spirit is being very, very strong about that, forgiving and moving on and loving yourself. You may have stayed in this relationship for a long time in fear of being alone, and now that you're alone, perhaps, you're having a hard time navigating this, and you're blaming that other person for what went wrong in the relationship, instead of finding forgiveness and moving on with your life so that you can find your own happiness. But there needs to be self-love here. You need to not be afraid to be alone. You need to learn to love yourself and be fulfilled within yourself before you can pull somebody else into your life. You have to feel fulfilled on your own, is what Spirit says here, Leo. Let's pull a love message oracle card for you, Leo, and we'll finish up this reading. But yes, it seems like you're having a hard time navigating life without this partner that you had, and you're placing the blame on them, having a hard time letting go. You're feeling like there'll never be anyone right for you, but who is right for you is yourself. You have to forgive and learn how to love yourself in order to move forward into a new beginning. Spirit, what message do you have for Leo to finish up the reading, please, Spirit? So you have the law of attraction. You have been manifesting this relationship. Everything you want will soon be yours. And I feel like the only way that you're going to manifest what it is that you want is by finding that love within yourself. The more positive and excited you are and passionate you are about life and the love that you have for yourself, the more of the law of attraction will come into play in order to bring what it is that you're wanting in a relationship. So that's the message I have for you, Leo. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'd love to hear how this resonates for you in the comment section if it did. Have a wonderful month. Namaste.